There are moments in life when nothing makes sense. The plans fall apart. The timing feels wrong. The path ahead looks blurry. And in that confusion, a quiet fear creeps in that maybe you're off track. But what if you're not lost? What if you're exactly where you need to be? You see, alignment doesn't always look like clarity. Sometimes, it looks like chaos, like closed doors, like silence from the universe. But that silence is not absence. It's calibration. It's the universe reorganizing the pieces for your next quantum leap. Right now, even as you question everything, things are aligning not in your timeline, but in perfect timing. You're not being left behind. You're being guided beyond. And this video is your reminder. You don't have to see it yet. You just have to trust it. 1. The illusion of misalignment. You may look at your life and think things are falling apart, but the truth is, they're falling into place in ways your mind can't yet comprehend. Misalignment is often a limited perception and illusion born from expecting instant clarity in a timeline that's still unfolding. The universe works on frequency, not on your schedule. What looks like delay is often divine orchestration, where unseen pieces are rearranging to match the vibration you're slowly stepping into. Trusting this process means accepting that discomfort doesn't always mean misdirection. Most people assume alignment means ease, flow, and control, but the highest transformations often come through chaos. The dismantling of your current identity can feel like disconnection, but it's actually a powerful reset. You are not being punished. You are being repatterned. The feeling of not being aligned is often your ego reacting to unfamiliar upgrades. Like a plant outgrowing its pot, growth requires rupture. Just because it hurts doesn't mean it's wrong. It might be the exact moment your energy is shifting into something far greater. Alignment isn't always visible in real time. It's often confirmed in hindsight, when you look back and realize the breakdown was the breakthrough. Your current confusion may be a sacred pausia recalibration, so that what's meant for you can meet you at your true frequency, not your anxious one. The illusion comes from thinking you must force life into harmony when, in fact, you are being tuned gently, quietly, and precisely by a much higher intelligence. You're not misaligned because you feel lost. You're expanding, and expansion feels unfamiliar. The illusion comes when you measure your worth by how on track you seem. But alignment isn't about ticking boxes. It's about resonating with truth. Sometimes you're taken off the visible path to dissolve attachments, clear noise, and amplify your inner guidance. Misalignment is often the birth of clarity, hidden beneath the noise of doubt and delay. Don't mistake the dark cocoon for failure, it's transformation. What appears as confusion in your current moment may be the exact space needed for divine alignment to catch up to your inner evolution. Your desire, your vision, your healing, it's all sinking, slowly but surely. But the illusion of misalignment tempts you to abandon your center and chase what isn't meant for you. Stay anchored. When you hold your frequency and stop chasing validation, the path begins to reveal itself with precision you couldn't have planned. Every great shift begins with a moment that feels like misalignment. That's how you know something big is coming. When everything feels off, it means the old energy no longer fits. The illusion is thinking you're stuck or doing something wrong. But in truth, you're being upgraded behind the scenes. Stay present. Trust the silence. The illusion fades when you stop resisting the in-between and start recognizing it as a sacred threshold into your next becoming. 2. Hidden order in the chaos. What appears as chaos is often the intelligent reorganization of your reality. The universe doesn't speak in straight lines, it speaks in patterns, energy shifts, and symbolic dismantling. When things seem to fall apart, they're often making space for a deeper alignment that logic alone can't see. The mess you feel right now is not failure, it's the collapsing of the old structure that no longer holds your new vibration. Chaos is not absence of order. It's the shaking loose of false stability to uncover what's real. Behind the noise, behind the confusion, there's a hidden frequency that's guiding everything into place. You might not hear it with your ears, but your soul can feel it. What feels like disorder on the surface often follows a sacred blueprint tone your conscious mind hasn't accessed yet. That's why it feels random. But randomness is rarely real, in a universe built on energy, magnetism, and resonance. The breakdown is choreographed. The setbacks are synchronized. You just can't see the pattern yet. Sometimes the people who leave, the doors that close, and the disruptions that show up are not breaking you. They're making room for the version of you that is meant to emerge. The universe clears paths violently when you resist gentle nudges. It will introduce storms not to destroy you, but to remove what's no longer aligned with your calling. Chaos becomes the whisper that you've ignored too long, now shouting loud enough to shift your trajectory. Don't run from it. Read between the collapse. It takes a strong soul to stay calm in the middle of a storm they don't understand. But growth requires discomfort, and discomfort often shows up dressed as chaos. The pain, the delays, the sudden changes, they're not punishments. They're precision tools. You're not off course. You're being recalibrated to a higher timeline. The ego wants certainty, but your evolution needs surrender. Only when you release the need to control the outcome can you begin to sense the divine order hiding beneath the confusion. Everything in nature moves through cycles of disorder to create beauty. Seeds break open before they bloom. Forests burn before they regrow. Your life is no different. The storm you're in may feel like destruction, but it's preparing the soil of your life for something sacred to take root. You're not broken. You're being broken open. When the old must die, it doesn't go quietly. But what comes next is always worth the unraveling. The chaos is not a curse, it's the sign that the new has already begun. If you slow down and feel deeper than your fear, you'll sense the intelligence behind all of it. Not everything that looks disordered is. Sometimes it's divine sequencing in motion. The people you meet, the emotions you feel, the endings that surprise you, all of it moves like puzzle pieces toward a picture your spirit already knows. Let the pieces fall. Don't force the frame. The hidden order will reveal itself in time, and when it does, you'll understand why nothing made sense until now. 3. Let go of linear thinking. Linear thinking tells you that life should follow a straight path: step 1, then 2, then 3. But consciousness doesn't evolve like that. Growth is nonlinear. It spirals, pauses, leaps, and sometimes rewinds. Your highest moments of expansion rarely happen in order. They arrive through quantum shifts, moments of surrender, or sudden realizations that seem disconnected from logic. The mind wants structure, but your soul thrives in the unknown. Letting go of linear thinking means embracing life's rhythm over its calendar. When you expect progress to look like a ladder, you miss the truth. Growth is more like a wave. Some days you rise, some days you fall. Some days you float in stillness, seemingly going nowhere, while in reality, your energy is being recalibrated in silence. The illusion of failure comes from thinking every day must look like forward motion. But forward isn't always straight. Sometimes the most powerful shift happens in a detour that your mind once labeled as off track. Linear logic says, if I do this, then I will get that. But manifestation doesn't follow that rule. You could align with your dream through rest instead of hustle, through inner clarity instead of outer action. The universe matches energy, not effort. So when you let go of the checklist and focus on your vibration, you start to experience results that bypass explanation. What takes years through force can take days through alignment. That's the power of surrendering the linear mind. Time itself is not as fixed as we've been taught. It bends around emotion, intention, and belief. The reason some people quantum leap while others crawl is not luck, it's frequency. When you stop thinking you need to earn your desires in a specific order, you begin to access the non-linear pathways the universe has always had open for you. These hidden routes can't be seen with the thinking mind. They reveal themselves only to the aligned heart. Linear thinking is rooted in fear. It clings to control, predictability, and guarantees. But real transformation asks you to let go before you see the net. The need to figure it all out is a block disguised as responsibility. When you shift from force to flow, from plan to presence, doors begin to open that you never knocked on. Letting go of linearity doesn't mean becoming reckless, it means trusting that energy knows where to go, even when your mind does not. Many of your biggest blessings will arrive out of order compared to how you thought life should go. The job will come before the self-worth, or the healing will come before the apology. Life doesn't wait for logic to catch up. It moves in divine timing, not linear time. The moment you release your mental timeline is the moment life begins to surprise you. It's in the surrender, not the schedule, where your greatest alignment lives. Letting go of linear thinking means becoming available to miracles. You stop asking how and start aligning with why. You stop demanding steps and start embodying frequency. The people who create magic in their lives are not following a manual. They're following their inner resonance. You're not behind. You're not lost. You're just being invited to break free from a story that was too small for your multidimensional nature. The linear path is a tool, but it's not the truth. You are an energetic being navigating a quantum field of infinite possibilities. When you stop limiting yourself to logic, you begin dancing with reality instead of dragging it. Your power doesn't live in the planet, lives in your presence. That's where the non-linear magic begins. Not in controlling every step, but in trusting each frequency shift to guide your next becoming. 4. Energetic confirmation, not external proof. You've been trained to wait for the world to validate your path before trusting it, but energy doesn't work that way. The shift begins when you stop asking for signs and start feeling the resonance. When your inner world aligns, the outer world follows, but not always immediately. That delay is a test of embodiment. True transformation requires moving based on energetic confirmation, not external evidence. You feel it before you see it. You act in trust before reality reflects it. Most people live on delay. They wait for proof to act, for validation to believe. But the quantum field responds to certainty, not hesitation. The moment you fully embody a frequency, you send a signal into the universe that rearranges what's possible. But that signal weakens when you constantly seek external signs to confirm what your soul already knows. The path won't always make sense at first glance, because it's being shaped by your energy, not your logic. Energetic confirmation is subtle, but unmistakable. It's the inner knowing that a decision, a move, or a belief is aligned even if no one else sees it yet. It's that shift in how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you breathe when you're rooted in truth. External proof comes later, often after you've already let go of needing it. This is why the most powerful people seem calm before anything even happens. They've already felt the outcome within. Your nervous system is a better guide than your newsfeed. When you feel peace without reason, clarity without answers, or joy without results, that's energetic alignment. But if you're chasing something while feeling tight, anxious, or desperate, it's not flow, it's force. The quantum field mirrors your frequency, not your effort. It responds to what you embody, not what you beg for. So stop looking for evidence and start becoming the evidence. The external world will often test your trust. You might feel in alignment, yet face silence, delay, or even opposition. But don't confuse the test with a rejection. Sometimes the absence of proof is part of the calibration. The universe is checking. Will you stay in this frequency even when reality hasn't caught up? Will you remain anchored when the illusion tempts you to waver? Staying grounded in energy is what opens the gates to manifestation. Energetic confirmation doesn't mean instant gratification. It means inner clarity, so strong that it transcends time. You begin to see that success isn't measured in likes, followers, or applause, but in peace, purpose, and alignment. You start to notice that the best moments in life are often the ones no one else sees, because they happen within. And from that inner shift, the outer begins to unfold in divine timing, never too late, never too early. The world may not understand your frequency before it manifests. That's not a failure, it's a feature. You're not here to convince people. You're here to align with truth. Your job isn't to prove your path, it's to walk it fully, vibrationally, and unapologetically. When you move from energetic confirmation, you stop chasing signs, and you start creating them. You become the evidence of what's possible, even before the proof arrives. Everything you desire is already on your frequency. It's waiting for you to become a match, not through force or strategy, but through alignment. So stop asking, where is it? And start asking, am I the version of me who already has it? That shift changes everything. Energetic confirmation is the real signal. Feel it, trust it, move with it, and let reality catch up. 5. Your soul knows before your mind does. Your soul is your truest, compassionate, intuitive, and timeless. Long before your mind begins to understand, your soul already senses the direction. You may feel drawn to something without knowing why, or repelled by something that seems perfect on paper. That's your inner guidance system working beyond logic. The mind questions, analyzes, and hesitates. But the soul simply knows. It doesn't need evidence, it operates from a deeper wisdom that transcends time and thought. Have you ever felt a deep yes in your body before your brain could explain it? That's the language of the soul. It speaks in feelings, frequencies, and pulls. It doesn't debate or justify. It just aligns. The challenge is, we've been taught to silence that voice and prioritize the thinking mind. But the mind is a tool, not the master. The soul leads with clarity that can't always be verbalized. And the more you trust it, the more ease you create. The soul knows what seasons you're meant to enter, even when your ego resists. That's why some endings feel both painful and peaceful. That's why new paths can terrify your mind while thrilling your spirit. Your mind wants safety. Your soul wants expansion. And the gap between them is where most people feel stuck. Learning to honor the soul's direction, even when it makes no sense, is how you unlock your highest timeline. Before you recognize why you're called to move, change, or let go, your soul already sees the unfolding. You may think it's too early or too late, but divine timing isn't linear, it's energetic. Your soul feels the future before your logic can make sense of it. That's why intuitive decisions often feel unreasonable. They're based on frequency, not facts. But those are the decisions that rewrite everything. There's a sacred discomfort in following the soul. It doesn't offer a map, only a knowing. And that knowing asks for trust. You might lose relationships, jobs, or familiar identities. But what you gain is unmatched alignment. Your mind may scream that you're making a mistake. But if the soul is at peace, you're on the right path. The loudest resistance often appears right before the most powerful breakthrough. You've known things in your body long before the truth was confirmed. You've felt energies shift, people disconnect, paths expire, all before a single event made it clear. That's not paranoia, it's perception. Your soul sees behind the curtain. It's not here to keep you comfortable. It's here to keep you aligned. The more you listen, the less explanation you need. And the more often you'll find yourself in places that feel like home without knowing how you got there. When you live from soul knowing, life becomes intuitive instead of reactive. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop asking for directions and start walking with trust. Your decisions feel lighter, even when they're big. Because when the soul leads, the burden of overthinking dissolves. You don't need to control everything, you just need to follow the thread that already feels right in your body. Even if your mind hasn't caught up yet. It's okay if your mind doesn't understand yet. It will catch up to what your soul already knows. That's why you can feel pulled towards something that doesn't make sense logically, yet brings you peace emotionally. Let that be enough. Stop waiting for the mental green light. If your spirit feels aligned, that's the confirmation. The soul whispers first, and the mind translates later. There will be moments where the soul leads you into silence, solitude, or surrender. Not because you're lost, but because you're being prepared. Preparation often looks like stillness. Your soul pulls you away from noise, so it can retune your frequency. During those seasons, you'll feel disconnected from the world, but deeply connected to something greater. That's not loneliness, it's spiritual positioning. Trust it. In a world that glorifies overthinking, trusting the soul is radical, but it's also freedom. It's remembering that you're more than flesh and logic. You are energy, intuition, and divine intelligence in motion. The soul doesn't need proof to believe. It already knows. And when you live from that knowing, life begins to feel less like a struggle and more like a conversation between your spirit and the universe. 6. You're being prepared, not punished. It's easy to believe life is against you when nothing seems to go your way. The delays, the detours, the silence, they can feel like punishment. But what if they're preparation? What if the resistance isn't there to stop you, but to strengthen you? You're not being denied. You're being refined. The universe isn't trying to break you down, it's teaching you how to carry what you've asked for without dropping it when it arrives. Preparation feels like pressure, because it's sculpting your capacity. The future version of you, the one who can handle the vision you hold, doesn't emerge from comfort. It's forged in the fires of growth, discomfort, and inner transformation. Just because you can't see the reward yet doesn't mean the work is wasted. Seeds grow in darkness before they break the surface. You're still underground, but that doesn't mean you're not rising. You'll know you're being prepared when nothing makes sense, but everything feels necessary. The lessons are specific. The challenges are designed. You keep running into patterns not to be punished, but to master them, until your nervous system can hold peace in the face of chaos, until your frequency can stay elevated in uncertainty. You'll continue to be trained. It's not cruel, it's precise. You're being equipped, not exiled. Sometimes what's removed from your life is more important than what's added. You ask for love, and you lose people. You ask for abundance, and you face scarcity. That's not misalignment. It's realignment. The old must leave so the new can arrive clean. The universe won't build the next version of your life on unstable foundations. The silence is not abandonment. It's an invitation to anchor deeper within yourself before everything shifts. What feels like stagnation is often sacred stillness. You're being asked to wait, not because you're forgotten, but because divine timing is real. The space between desire and manifestation is where the becoming happens. You're learning patience, trust, and detachment. And when you're finally ready, not desperate, not fearful, but aligned, the breakthrough flows in effortlessly. The preparation always precedes the quantum leap. You're not weak for feeling tired. Transformation is exhausting, but rest doesn't mean you're failing it. It means you're integrating. You're shedding outdated beliefs, closing karmic loops, and releasing past versions of yourself. That takes energy. You're being reshaped at a level most people can't see. Don't rush it. Let the internal upgrades land. Your external reality will reflect the shift in perfect time. Pain is part of preparation. It sharpens you. It makes you pay attention. It breaks the ego's grip so your soul can lead. You're not suffering for nothing. You're learning discernment, boundaries, and resilience. The heartbreak, the disappointment, the confusion, they all serve a purpose. They don't define you. They reveal you. Every wound carries wisdom, and every setback plants a seed of strength. The discomfort you feel now is stretching you into someone who doesn't settle, someone who doesn't beg, chase, or shrink. You're being molded into a version of yourself that can walk away from what isn't love, what isn't aligned, and what doesn't honor your worth. That's the real preparation, becoming so whole within that nothing outside of you can break you again. You're not cursed. You're chosen for a deeper path, a higher vibration, a more aligned existence. And chosen ones don't walk easy roads, they walk sacred ones. You may feel isolated now, but solitude is often the final step before elevation. You're being set apart so that your frequency can rise without distraction. It's not punishment, it's positioning. Every closed door was protection. Every unanswered prayer was redirection. You don't have to understand it all to trust it. You just need to stay present. When you look back, the puzzle pieces will fit. The people who left, the delays that made no sense, the moments that broke you, they'll all make perfect sense when the vision manifests. You'll see that nothing was wasted. Right now, your job is not to control the outcome, but to master your state. That's the real preparation. Becoming the person who can hold what they've been asking for. Energy first, embodiment first. Results come second. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And this season is making you into something unshakable. That's not punishment, that's divine training. So breathe. You're not lost. You're not failing. You're not forgotten. You're becoming. And that becoming often looks like breaking, but what breaks is never your essence. It's your limitations. You're being emptied, so you can be filled with something greater. Trust the fire. Trust the silence. Trust the path. This is not the end. This is the making of you. 7. Alignment is happening in the now. Alignment isn't something that only exists in the future. It's being formed in this very moment. Every breath you take, every thought you choose, every emotion you allow is influencing your vibration now. You don't become aligned. One day you align in the present by becoming conscious of your frequency, and honoring your truth. Stop waiting for the perfect time. This moment is the portal. Your future begins with the energy you hold now. Many people live in delay because they believe alignment comes after results. But it's the reverse. Results come after alignment. You can't wait to feel peace after things work out. You have to feel peace to magnetize the outcome. That's why the now is everything. The way you speak to yourself, the way you feel about your life, the way you breathe when no one's watching this, is where alignment begins. This is where timelines shift. Your mind may want to time jump to what's next, but your power is in what is. The now moment holds all the energy you need to create the future you desire, but you have to be present to access it. If your awareness is constantly drifting into regret or anxiety, you miss the frequency of creation. Presence is not passive. It's the most active form of manifestation. It's choosing to embody wholeness now, before the outer world gives you a reason. Alignment isn't a mood, it's a decision. You choose it again and again, even when life feels uncertain. You choose to think in harmony with your vision. You choose to feel emotions that support your expansion. You choose to trust the unseen over the obvious. The present moment is your proving ground. It's where the old dissolves and the new forms, not in a distance someday, but in the vibration you hold right now. Too often, people wait for circumstances to change before adjusting their energy. But alignment works in the opposite direction. The shift in energy comes first. When you choose joy now, love now, peace now, you start syncing with outcomes that match that frequency. You don't chase alignment, you anchor into it. You don't force reality, you harmonize with it. That is the true power of the now. Every time you center your awareness, even for a breath, you bring yourself back into energetic coherence. You stop leaking power into worry, comparison, or fear, and reclaim it in the only moment that's real present. From this space, clarity emerges. Inspired action arises. The universe begins to echo your alignment with synchronicities and momentum. But it all begins with now, not later. You can't align while mentally arguing with your past or begging for your future. You align when you say, "This is who I am right now, and I honor this version fully." Even if it's messy, even if it's scared, even if it's uncertain, you can only evolve by accepting your current state without shame. That radical presence unlocks transformation. It dissolves resistance. It makes room for truth. The now is not neutral, it's magnetic. Whatever you embody in this moment begins sending out a signal. That signal becomes your reality. If you carry doubt, you invite delay. If you embody trust, you attract alignment. There's no pause button in the quantum field. Every second is a message to the universe. The question is, what are you broadcasting right now? Alignment in the now also means making peace with not knowing. You don't need every answer to feel grounded. You just need to trust that you're guided. When you release the grip of needing control, you open the space for guidance to flow in. The moment you stop resisting the now, the universe begins revealing the next. Surrender isn't giving up, it's tuning in. This moment is sacred because it's where your future is born. The ideas you choose, the state you stabilize in, the energy you radiate, all of it starts now. Not when you get the job, not when you find the partner, not when you have more money now. Abundance begins in how you feel about yourself. Love begins in how you treat your own heart. Alignment begins with presence. You don't need to wait for your life to look right before you feel aligned. You simply need to feel right within yourself. When you stop looking outside for confirmation and start tuning into your own frequency, everything begins to recalibrate. The now is where that recalibration happens. This second is where you shift, where you choose, where you align with your future self. So be here, fully. This moment is not empty, it's alive with possibility. It's the space where timelines are rewritten, where identities are reborn, where dreams quietly take root. Every time you breathe consciously, you realign. Every time you choose peace over panic, you reinforce the path. The now is not a stepping stone, it's the destination. Treat it like the sacred ground that it is. So if it feels uncertain right now, that's okay. You're not supposed to have all the answers. You're supposed to trust the unfolding. Every delay, every detour, Every quiet moment is a setup, not a setback. You weren't abandoned, you're being prepared. And soon, when you look back, you'll see how everything had to fall apart so the real alignment could come together. Keep moving, not because it's all clear, but because you've chosen to trust. Trust that the invisible is working in your favor. Trust that your frequency is pulling the future toward you. And trust that the universe doesn't make mistakes, only miracles in disguise. If this spoke to your soul, you're not just watching a video, you're stepping into alignment. And if you're ready to keep rising in that energy, subscribe, share, and stay connected. The shift is already happening.